Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I've got a game between LiquidHayprO and Phoenix. Phoenix is in the top right as the blue Terran player and HayprO is in the bottom left as the red Zerg. Now this is from the Team Liquid Replay pack of the week, sponsored by Razer, and it was the HayprO replay pack. So some great games from HayprO up on there, and I have cast Phoenix before. Phoenix is an absolutely great player, as is HayprO, so I'm really looking forward to this match to see what they both can do. Now the map itself, quite a hard to defend front for the Zerg player. I mean, Hellions can get in and out there very easily, and also the other problem for Zerg is while this third is easy to take because there aren't any rocks, there is this position here. Now siege tanks, if they do get there, are able to hit the third base very easily, and that can be a nightmare for the Zerg player to deal with. However, the counter to that is get great creep spread going across the map here. I mean, once really you get your creep spread up to this point, you are completely safe from that third base, and I mean that is probably it's something we'll probably see HayprO do very quickly. I can't even speak there. And here we go. We will actually see Phoenix coming down with this SCV here. It'll be interesting to see what it goes for. Just dropping a barracks down now. That's quite a forward position barracks, so obviously feeling quite confident that he's not going to get any early pressure from HayprO. And of course, by putting that barracks there, it means that he can get a good defense for a natural base super quickly. And if we take a look at what HayprO's doing, he's getting one guy out there just to go and scout around. And I mean, the key thing you need to scout is this gas timing, because the number of gas is a big indicator on what's going to be coming up. One gas really says either Reactor Hellions or Reapers, but 9 times out of 10 it will be Reactor Hellions. This natural is on its way now for HayprO, so it was a hatch first build, which against Terran is completely safe to do. Meanwhile, if we take a look up here, this gas is now mining nicely. This barracks is about to finish up, and it will be interesting to see what happens, but HayprO is going to be able to get in there to scout exactly what's going on. There goes the orbital command, and this is all pretty standard stuff. I almost guarantee that there will be Reactor Hellions because it is the go-to build to do. So, if we take a look down here, we will see that the spawning pool is coming up to about third done. There is this one SCV here which can be scouted by this Overlord, and it's something which Zerg players do need to be careful of, because it's quite easy to put a bunker down in his back position here, which could be a nightmare to deal with. But obviously HayprO does have that Overlord there just to see exactly what is going on. And here we go, the factory has now just started for Phoenix, so we are definitely going to see Reactor Hellions, and it'll be interesting to see how HayprO deals with this, because this is just a huge area in order to try and defend. So the ramp itself is actually quite a wide ramp as well, so it could be quite interesting, and I look forward to see how he does it. And sorry for the mistap there, but basically 2 queens straight out on the way now, so really the follow-up could be quite interesting, and just some great kind of extractor trick going on here. It does take 3 marines to out-damage it building, so obviously all while HayprO does keep this up, it's preventing Phoenix getting that gas, and there we go, just on and off, and it will actually require a 3rd marine to come out, which could be quite a while, especially at this rate, and all this time it is just delaying that 2nd gas coming down for Phoenix. Now here we go, the lift is already done, ready to get those Reactor Hellions as soon as humanly possible, and it'll be interesting to see what happens from there. Now we will see both queens are now out, and they've injected in a straight away moving forward just to deal with those Hellions as soon as they do drop. Now he did actually let that extractor finish there, which probably was a bit of a mistiming, but does mean that Phoenix can now go and take that gas whenever he does choose. A tech lab on the way now for this barracks as well. A couple of marines there, and those Hellions have been scouted as soon as they popped. A nice little timing of those Zerglings running in there by HayprO. And if we take a look up here, still just fairly standard, hasn't taken that 2nd gas yet. This tech lab hasn't immediately been used for anything. These 2 queens dropping down the creep tumors, now that is essential, because what Hellions allow the Terran player to do is prevent creep spread. So by getting these double tumors out super quickly, it does mean that it'll advance as far forward as possible. A 3rd queen there and a 4th queen, so 4 queen play by HayprO here. Now I personally actually like getting a lot of queens, because 1, you keep your injects, 2, you have good defense, and 3, you can get great creep spread going into the mid and late game. And obviously on this map where, as I pointed out, you need to get that 3rd cover, that is essential. Now here comes the Hellions, and I mean they're going to just run straight through. No Hellions go down yet, and this could be a major problem for HayprO, because they're just straight in the mineral line, and I mean just got to be ever so careful. Doesn't want to line them up just there. That is a huge lineup of drones, and already quite a few go down, and this is just nasty to watch for HayprO. He's got to do something to deal with these, but the queens haven't actually managed to join up the 2 bases with creep quite yet, and he does manage to pick them off. Only one Hellion remaining, but there are a couple of drones there on very, very low HP, and gets one more, two more. Will he be able to grab a third? I don't actually know, but no, he does manage to get it down. And if we take a look here at loss, 15 workers killed, so that was a very, very good use of Hellions there by Phoenix. Meanwhile, we have got Blue Flame on the way behind this, and a second factory on the way. I love the use of this barracks lifting up. It was to take out an Overlord up here, so that was a nice little trick. Getting his third gas as well as in his main base, so this is quite a nice play. A third, 3 gases are down for HayPro as well, but if we take a look at the worker count, it's 36 to 30, which isn't exactly great. As a Zerg player, you do want to be as far ahead as possible, but the macro hatch is down for HayPro, and this third base has just started as well. Now obviously getting the macro hatch out is very safe, and it does up your production, and the third base obviously better income, so all fairly standard. A third factory is coming out now, so this is definitely going to be a mech play without a doubt from Phoenix here. Blue Flame is finished, and Siege Mode is on the way as well, so these Hellions could do a lot of damage, and especially seeing as how, I mean, really the first 4 did so much, it could be really, really good move by Phoenix and could do a lot of damage to HayPro. Now these 2 evolution chambers have 2 purposes. Primarily getting the upgrades, because obviously double upgrades are super good. You want to stay ahead, it makes the Zerg army so much more efficient. But secondly, the positioning of them here just means that rather than having to defend all of this area, it forces Hellions to a much smaller gap, which makes them easier to deal with, hopefully. Now this creep spread is actually going fantastically, and this is from the extra queens bring out. I mean, if you look, it's only the 9-minute mark, and look how far out it is. So many creep tumors everywhere. I mean, it's very, very quickly going to be over this dangerous position to defend the third. But having said that, here we go. We have got a lot of Hellions coming in here. They are Blue Flame Hellions as well. The Baning Nest is nearly done for HayPro. Now, Banings are a great way to deal with Hellions if you can get them to connect, because Banings don't take bonus damage. They're not light units, and also it means that Hellions do take bonus damage because they are light. Now, only Zerglings and Queens to defend here. This could be quite nasty. Blue Flame is incredibly strong against both workers and Zerglings, and if you look, just so many drones are going down. The Queen's trying to block it off, and I mean, really, HayPro's just got to be so careful. The Banings have nearly morphed in now, and as long as he does manage to kind of block them all off, it could do some big damage. And there we go, all the Hellions are cleaned up, but how many? 32 workers have been killed there already, so I mean, again, a very, very nice engagement with Hellions there by Phoenix. If you take a look at the loss tab, very, very much in favour of Phoenix. HayPro has lost a lot more, but he has got his third base up. Meanwhile, this third base only just about to finish for Phoenix, and obviously has to fly over still. And the macro hatch is also down as well. Surprisingly, no lair as of yet for HayPro. Just going now as I say it, so quite a late lair, and to be honest, you do want to try and get that a bit earlier. 1-1 is being done, and is about 3/4 done, so should be done fairly quickly. These extractors are down, need some drones transferred into there. Would like to see the 5th and 6th gas come down as well, because obviously Zerg get very, very gas intensive in the mid game, and that's usually what stops you. You get a lot of minerals as Zerg, but you can find getting enough gas a problem, so obviously getting it early is essential. But obviously HayPro has lost so many drones in this early game to Hellions that he's in a bit of a tight spot. If we take a look at the unit counting tab, 49 to 57 now, so again, not ideal. If we take a look at what's being built, a Roach 1 is on its way out, because I mean, HayPro did manage to scalp this coming out as it was flying over. Knows it's a mech build. The first Thor is already out. More factories are there. There's a starport there. Upgrades are on their way. Only single upgrades though for Phoenix at the moment, and he's moving out again, and this could be potentially quite good. But look at this creep spread. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic creep spread by HayPro, and this was all from getting those extra queens super early on. Now really, he's got to defend this with just speedlings and banelings, getting +1 missile attack and +2 melee attack. But this 4th base looking very vulnerable, and to be honest, I think HayPro is just going to have to cancel it. I mean, Hellions don't do a huge amount of damage, but they will eventually kill it, unless of course these banelings can get a connect in there. It just all depends on how he chooses to do it, if he is going to try and go for it. But I mean, he's just waiting back, and hopefully HayPro will cancel this, because it's going to go down if he's not really, really careful. And if it does go down, then he will have quite a lot of problems, and he would have lost a lot of minerals there. So it's always better to get the cancel off, but he doesn't actually get the cancel. Now, there are roaches and banelings here, so he will be able to defend that quite nicely. Meanwhile, a planetary fortress is on the way up top, and in come the Hellions here. Now, he's kiting them away from those banelings, but the roaches will force them back. Roach is incredibly good against Hellions, and actually mech in general. It all depends on the siege tank numbers. If there's a lot of siege tanks, then roaches become less effective because of the splash. But against a Hellion Thor heavy army, roaches are a great choice. Now, HayprO, meanwhile, just taking his 4th base up here. Now, expanding away is a good position to do. Mech armies are very immobile, but as you will see, these Hellions are just going to come straight up there, and I don't actually think HayprO will be able to get to this to prevent it going down. So just with his other 4th, these Hellions just doing great map control. The roaches are moving up, and this does leave him vulnerable at the other side of the map. And I mean, really, he's just relying on the fact that Phoenix has a lot of tanks and Thors to make up the bulk of his army, and they are very slow units. They've got to move carefully, otherwise if they get caught out of position, can take huge damage. 1 Viking is out on the field. Meanwhile, 3 tanks being built at a time. Another factory on the way for Phoenix as well. Meanwhile, Tunneling Claws is on the way. Roach speed is already done. Some banelings are out. +2 missile attack and +2 melee attack are on the way for HayprO as well. And here we go. These roaches are going to get caught out of position here, and they should be able to get away because of the creep spread. This fantastic creep spread, over half the map already covered in creep. This 4th base is on its way down. This one is about to finish as well. So, I mean, 5 bases for HayprO should be done pretty damn soon. Meanwhile, there doesn't actually seem to be any sign of an infestation pit, which I would have liked to have seen, just because, I mean, infestors are very good against Hellions. They lock it down. And obviously you could get Neural Parasite, and also it gives you access to Hive Tech. And really you need Broodlords in order to deal with this mech army. Now these Hellions are just picking off some more drones, and this isn't going well. I mean, I wouldn't want to be a drone in HayprO's army, just because he loses a lot of them. He is obviously still ahead, but Phoenix has just got great numbers of SCVs himself. Now, I mean, this is a nice position. If these tanks siege up, it could be very difficult for HayprO to deal with this. Needs to get a good spread on the tanks though, because otherwise he could have a bit of difficulty. And HayprO actually deciding just to flat out sacrifice this base, and that means he will be put back to 3 base. So absolutely great play by Phoenix here, but HayprO is pretty much maxed out. He has got +2 melee attack, +1 carapace, and +2 missile attack is about 3/4 done. And to be honest, if HayprO gets a good engagement, he can take this army out pretty damn easily. It's just the tanks, he has to engage when the tanks aren't sieged, and he will be absolutely fine. Then meanwhile, there is a bit of fighting going on here, just in the middle, picking off some reinforcements, and those overlords should be pretty safe. Now it looks like HayprO is kind of gearing up in order to deal with a surround on this army. Now this is the downside of pushing forward with mechs so early, is that Phoenix has got himself into kind of a little island here where he can't safely break out of this. He's flanked on the left by lots of units, he's flanked from the top with lots of units, so he's just got to sit here, and that really isolates him from his own base. So to be honest, HayprO could just go and kill him. I actually think he could. I think he could get in there and kill him before Phoenix could kill HayprO, just because of the positioning of the bases, but it would be a risk, and taking risks isn't great. +3 is done. Something went down though. I think it was a Viking went down. A good scan going off, and now these roaches just poking and prodding forward, just seeing exactly what's going on, trying to clear out some of the creep. Now the tanks have unsieged now and are going to try and sneak back, but obviously if they do get caught out of position, it could do huge damage. Here come the roaches. The roaches guys coming straight in, will catch this tanks unsieged, and if they take out enough of them, it will be absolutely devastating to try and deal with. Thors are not good against roaches at all, and quite a lot of overlords coming in, just trying to use that to take some of the Thor fire, and that was cleaned up very nicely by HayprO. Very patient with his engagement in order to do as much damage as possible. HayprO has got a good number of spines up as well, and I mean, as long as he keeps this creep spread up, he's going to basically be at Phoenix's army and his base with creep very shortly. A scan does go off just to see what's going on, but guys, HayprO has remaxed again already. Got a lot of units streaming in, a lot of roaches, +2 carapace is on its way, +2 missile obviously finished, tunneling claws are also done, so HayprO can do a lot here, and he's just got to be very careful. And that is a very brave expansion to take, just finished one down there and there as well. So I mean, he's just got so many bases, and really that's exactly what he needs to do. He's pretty much taking the whole map. The only place he hasn't yet expanded to is here, although he could do fairly easily, to be honest. And these tanks are trying to move out to get in a good position. but by moving these tanks out, he has somewhat exposed this base here, and great use of drop tech, just dropping it onto this planetary fortress to minimize the damage taken. And I mean, Baneling Rain is on its way, and I mean, these roaches are just going to be absolutely everywhere. Huge damage to the SCV line of Phoenix. If we take a look at the workers killed now, I mean, HayprO is quickly catching up, and just so much is going on, hiding the health bars there just to see. Great repair on this planetary fortress will mean that he can hold it off temporarily, but straight away HayprO is pretty much remaxed again. He's just got 25 more roaches on the way, and this is all from the economy he has built up. Now this base will have to be cancelled, there's no way he'll be able to come out. A good use of a Raven as well by Phoenix, just to detect those roaches when they are burrowed, but 2 managed to escape, and this base is now in a lot of danger. HayprO needs to send some units up here in order to deal with it, but I mean, to be honest, HayprO can bide his time. Look at the bank, he's got so many minerals left over, and more to the point, he's kept Phoenix on those 3 bases, and I mean, Phoenix will be mined out pretty soon. Meanwhile, HayprO has got a lot of minerals left around, whereas if we take a look up here, some roaches have actually got in as well, and those roaches are just picking off a couple of units, gonna really slaughter the production capability of Phoenix, and there's nothing Phoenix can do. He won't be able to get any units back here in order to defend this in time, and more importantly, I don't think he can push the main just because there's just so much stuff here, but he's going to try and base race HayprO here, and I mean, there's a lot of tanks, but here comes the Banelings, just so many Banelings, and they actually managed to sneak in through the tanks and take nearly all of them out instantly, and to be honest, I think that's pretty much GG. Absolutely great use of Banelings there by HayprO, managing to take out all the tanks, and the roaches will be able to clear up what is left, and I mean, that is pretty much it. The roaches have completely taken out most of the production capability of Phoenix as well. It's 39 food to 177, so absolutely great advantage for HayprO here. Phoenix, I'm not really sure what he can do. I don't think he can do anything. It is pretty much GG. Phoenix is just holding out for something. Exactly what, I don't know. Trying to harass with these Vikings, but there we go, there is the GG. So thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, also follow me on Twitter, and also for those of you who don't know, I am doing lots of casts for GameReplays.org, so go and check them out. I have my own little tab in their video section as well for StarCraft 2. In the events you'll find all of my casts there. So if you did enjoy, go and check it out, and thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.